And we're back. We back. Another episode in, man. Like I was saying, I think that we had a good point in our season 3, man. We're about to finish up this finishing stretch. Last few episodes for season 3. About to finish it up strong. I like where we're at. I like the cigars that we've experienced so far to this point. A lot of good ones. And we're going to keep adding them up, keep racking them up, stacking them up, and see how they stack up against each other. But
most definitely.
What it really looks like, what it's still stacking up to? The lever, man. It's my benchmark. So as I'm playing my cigar today, I get my show stick, and I have to, absolutely have to, venture over to the Oliva area and get my standard. Got me another Oliva V Series Melanio. That's that's my meat treat. That's my meat treat. From now on, that's my benchmark standard. That's my meat treat. I gotta have one in the stash. Keeping one on me.
I ain't mad at it, bro. I ain't mad at it. But you know what I am mad at? Mm-hmm. Right here when the show was starting, I took a sip of coffee, spilled coffee all on my shirt. This is my first time wearing this white shirt, and it's got coffee stain on it.
And that's what happened with the white man. At least it ain't ketchup. Barbecue sauce. You know what I'm saying? You go to the cookout, get you something good to eat, got your fresh white on, and spill some barbecue sauce on it. At least it ain't that.
Yeah, then I gotta smell it on you. You smell it on you when you drop the ketchup the whole time. But nonetheless, though, man, I purposely made it my thing to go out and like, man, all right, I'm gonna go get updated on all my little garments that I need and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'll go spill coffee on it on day one. It's like, come on, man.
On a fresh one.
Fresh one.
You ain't even took it outside yet, have you? Ain't even took it outside.
Outside, man. I don't even know how it spilled out. I don't even know why it spilled. Like, life.
Life is always life, man. But hey, look, it's all good. It's all good. You know, because we're enjoying our cigars. So I'm pretty sure you'll get ashes on your shirt anyway.
This is the thing, right?
You be all right.
You know, if I had an Oliva, like you said, maybe I'd be like, you know what? I ain't got time to stress this right now. I got this Oliva popping. But instead, I got Alec Bradley popping. So I don't even know what to expect. So it's just like,
you're not making the situation any better.
It ain't, Red. It ain't. Alec can't ease my mind right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Alec ain't the one. But anyway, I said it. So let's go ahead and put it out there. I got Alec Bradley.
What you smoking today,
Black Market, right? You see, They call this the Barber pole. Because what it does is it's got the little stripes like the candy cane at the barbershop. Yeah. Now, for me, this reminds me of something we used to do when I was a young man, Optimos. I don't know if you know what Optimo is, but it's a cigar also, but it's the kind that people break it down and put stuff inside of it, and it had this same little green color to it. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know how I feel about this, but that's what I'm smoking. That's what I chose because I was like, Alec, and it's even got the little Barber pole, Barber light. Right there on the band. You ain't gonna be able to see it, but it is what it is. But this is called the Black Market Filthy Hooligan. And that's what I'm gonna call this cigar if I don't enjoy it by the end of it, a Filthy Hooligan. But we are going to see. Now, I guess I can go ahead and get some specs on this too while we're in the conversation.
And get right to it.
This is, man, what the hell is this stuff? This is a wrapper with a Candela, a Habano Oscuro, and a Nicaraguan. Yeah. Okay. And then it's got an Ecuadorian Sumatra binder.
That sounds very
Honduran and Panamanian filler.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds like a lot. And I don't know if Alec Bradley is the one to pull off that kind of mixture. I don't want to.
Sounds sophisticated for Alec, doesn't it? We're going to see.
It sounds like a tall task for Alec. I think I smoked one not too long ago that was like one of their top tier cigars, and they kind of did like some kind of weird mixture that was really unique to cigar structure. And they did pretty decent with that one, but that sounds like a lot. I don't know if Alec is up for the task for that one. I don't know.
That's right. This is something that's supposed to have came out in 2024 sometime last year.
So this is
I don't know what they were looking like in 2024. You know what I'm saying? I think they life out. We're gonna see.
They're just trying to throw paint at the wall and see what happens. See if they can muster up a masterpiece. That's all. That's all this is.
They threw some paint at the wall.
That's what this sound like. This is. So I am leery for you. I'm hoping for the best for your experience, but we'll see. We'll see. So shout out to Alec Bradley and them trying to do what they can.
At this damn brown stain for the rest of the episode, and look at this damn brown stain I got, and just be disgusted. Like we're gonna see. And I'm talking. It's not bad. It's starting off okay though. It's starting off okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see where this goes. Hey, before I get into my cigar, when I think about Alec Bradley, I'm thinking about one of those brands that had a nice ring to their name. When you heard about them back in the day, especially when we first started our cigar journey about a decade and a half ago. But when I was in the humidor last week, not this week, but last week, I was looking at Ashton. And Ashton was one of those names I used to look for back in the day. And now I'm especially when I saw their section, they only had like maybe 2 or 3 boxes of different types of cigars. I feel like Ashton's one of those cigars that's fallen off too. I don't know too much of where they've gone, but as far as that name, when I used to think about Ashton back in the day, it would used to be synonymous with like the Alec Bradley and Romeo and Rocky. All those were kind of wrapped up in the same class. They were in the same class. And I was looking at Ashton last week. I'm like, man, what happened to Ashton? You know, we're gonna call out cigars.
Have no buzz.
We're gonna call out cigars.
It seems like it ain't got no buzz no more, man. Some of the reputation just doesn't feel the same. Maybe it's the same, but I don't feel no momentum their way. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't see it.
Like tell me when's the last time you saw Ashton in the humidor and said, "Ooh, I got to have that one. Ooh, I got to get that." I see him.
Bro, I be steering clear of Ashton these days, to be honest with you. And that was one of the sticks we would get back in the day.
Yeah.
I see him. I just keep pushing. I'm like, I don't know, Ashton.
So when it comes to spotlight, and I think we should do this every now and then to put the spotlight on cigar brands that used to have a really good name and they need to be called to the carpet, and we need to put some judgment on them and say what's going on. Because in my opinion, I feel like the cigar world needs the best of brands. We need the best of brands, and to have the multitude of brands at their best. So I think every now and then, it's okay that we need to spotlight these cigars and the cigar brands, and we're the guys to do it, to call these cigar companies out and say, hey, man, what's going on?
It's a compliment in reality.
Honestly, it is. It is. Because we're saying, hey, look,
I have expectations for you.
I had a high regard for you. Yeah. High regard, high expectations. And we just want to know out of love. It's all coming out of love. Where you at? What's going on? And for me, my highlight is Ashton. I want to see what's going on with Ashton. And I do some research.
Not a bad one.
And I want to call him to the carpet.
Cause at the end of the day, right? If you are if you're the type of brand that we're accustomed to having a certain standard, you're the business. So you know what your sales are and all this and that, but you don't know how the people feel about you. So us being the people, we're the ones that be able to say, look, man, you ain't got no motion right now. You're supposed to have something. Like you're one of the ones that should, where's it at? Because they may not realize it, because we may get into this, but sometimes it takes a little self-awareness, to be able to really understand where you at in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because that fall off can happen if you ain't self-aware. You ain't self-aware, and if somebody ain't giving you the real and they ain't telling you the truth, you're gonna fall off. You're gonna fall off. So, Ashton, you're my spotlight cigar company or cigar brand for this moment, and I'm gonna be on your case because I want to know what's going on with you. Because we got other cigars that's they're amping up their repertoire, they're amping up their shelf space, and they are stepping out and trying to step out of that boutique realm into the major leagues. And I have one that I'm smoking right now, Tampa, West Tampa. When I saw their lineup in the humidor, as I was picking up my show stick, it drew my attention. I was like, yo, I've never seen these many West Tampas. Then I've seen 2 in a high price point of $30 and up. I'm like, when did West Tampa get here? Tampa? And I'm only familiar with their name because of you smoking them on the show. You had one not too long ago on the show that like, oh, I do remember seeing West Tampa in the humidors. I probably should pay some attention to them. And then coupling off from that to what I've seen today, as I'm picking up my show stick, it's like, yo, they're ramping it up. And I always thought of them as like a smaller boutique brand. I need to do some more research to know as far as their whole umbrella and things that they've done, but I don't know too much about them. And I think the cigar I'm smoking right now came out in 2022, so not too many years ago. So it's a fairly new stick when it comes to the idea of legacy cigars. So West Tampa. Ashton's coming down this way. West Tampa's going this way. So, hey, look, these cigar brands, they need to be self-aware of what's going on in the game because you can get replaced really quickly because Alec Bradley knows. Alec Bradley knows. So let me go ahead and get into what I'm smoking right now. So I'm smoking the West Tampa Attic Series. The Attic Series by West Tampa. A little bit of details. Country of origin is Nicaraguan. The wrapper is Mexican San Andreas. Binder Nicaraguan. Filler Nicaraguan as well. And is that it? Yep, that's pretty much it. So Nicaraguan for the most part, but then just the wrapper, we have that Mexican San Andreas, which is leading to a lot of that pepper that I've gotten off top. Like right away, hit me with the pepper immediately.
So let me ask you this: are you off to a good start since this is your first experience in West Tampa? Or is it about what you would expect from what you deem to be boutique?
Kind of what I would deem to be boutique. It does have you know what's crazy though? Like it feels like when you smoke a boutique type of cigar, they all have that similar vibe and similar taste. They're gonna give you those similar tasting notes off rip. So off the first couple of puffs, it's right in that boutique realm. It's a cigar that I would feel like this is the kind of vibe and the kind of flavors and the kind of smoke that I would get from a boutique stick. Now this one was priced about $14, so I'm not expecting like for it to, blow me away by any stretch of the imagination. Right. So we're gonna see where it goes, but we're gonna see like have they thrown something else out there to kind of say even their mid-range sticks, their $14 sticks are enough to get them off that boutique shelf. Right. Because it seems like they're moving out of that realm. It seems like it to me.
Okay. Do I know the price of this one I'm smoking? Speaking of, nope, don't know. Guess it don't matter. But yeah. Okay, man. I'm interested to see where this goes, man. Because we still got a whole lot of cigar to go. So a lot of that can change for the better, for the worse.
Yeah. Hey, so let me ask you this question, though, man. So I was on the way to work the other day, and I was on the radio, listening to the radio, and a voice came on. And it's a voice that we all know, but the thought came to me. It's like, man, thank God we had this voice. Thank God we had this voice. And it just made me think about how, one, I look at music, and I'm pretty sure how you look at music. And it was a moment of appreciation. It's like, wow, what a time to be alive. What a time to experience things that I'm just glad I had this voice in my life. Just be able to experience this person being able to deliver their songs the way they deliver with that voice they had. And it's just a moment of appreciation. Do you have a voice that you are just glad that you were here to witness and experience when it comes to music?
In this, as of right now, currently, or just in general?
Just period.
Glad
just in general. Just like, I'm glad that I was able to witness this voice, that this voice existed in life.
I can only go with my first instinct. So I'll tell you the first two voices that came to mind right off the bat. Strangely enough, I'd say Ronald Isley was the very first voice that came to mind. And then after him, I thought about Michael Jackson. You never hear me talk about Ron, but those are the first that just popped into my head without thinking about it too deep or trying to create an answer. So that's my instinctive answer, is to say those two. But Michael Jackson was the very first musician that I ever liked. You know what I'm saying?
They ever like perked your ears up and like, yo, what is that?
He was the first person I was a fan of musically. Yeah. So Michael, nice. I have to say that. That's just.
Yeah. So for me, for this what posed this question and posed this thought, man, it was Luther, man. I was just riding and No Better Love was playing, and No Better Love came on, and I'm just listening to like. To me, he's not my favorite singer. Doesn't have all my favorite songs, but a lot of the songs I love and that are still nostalgic to me. But it's just, man, that voice. Like, I'm just glad I was able just to. Like, I'm glad his voice existed in his world throughout all the mess, all the other voices, all the other songs. I'm just glad, man, we had this voice. Luther, man.
And there's a lot of
that thing cut like butter, man. That thing is butter smooth, man.
Yeah.
Luther was a bad
most
boy.
Definitely.
I want to re-give him his flowers. We give him his flowers all the time, but it was just at that moment. It's like, yo,
it hit you.
It hit me.
Yeah.
It hit me. I'm like, yo, that's that voice. And I'm glad I was able to be here to witness that, to experience that era of music. Like, do you think that these kids nowadays, like for their generation, would sit back and be like, yo, I'm glad we got that voice. Who they got? The Weeknd?
It's gonna be Chris Brown. It's gonna be Chris Brown.
You think so?
Who else? It's gonna be Chris Brown. It's Chris Brown. And who else do they got to say that for? They're gonna say Bryson Tiller. Man, I'm sure I got Bryson Tiller rapping some toxic stuff. Like it's and we love Bryson. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna be. Who is it, man? You know what I'm saying?
It's just I guess you could say Chris Brown. But to me, I guess I'm just too far. Well, no, he was still out.
We take Chris for granted, man. We take Chris.
I think our generation does. I think our generation does take him for granted.
Yeah, we don't know
what he means in culture past, because we have so many other experiences and individuals that we looked at and looked up to,
and he's younger than us, so it makes it hard.
It makes it hard.
Yeah, we were in college when he came out, and when he was 15, he was a kid, 15, you know.
Yeah,
we were like sophomores in college or something, you know. So it's just like it's tough to really appreciate the people younger than you like that. But he got to be. I mean, dude, he outlasted everybody else from the time. He outlasted everybody, and he came up with a talented bunch. You know, like the Trey Songz and Neo, they came out boom all together.
At the same time, yeah.
They all had legendary careers, but he's different. He's different out of those bunch though. So,
okay, I guess you could say that. But to me, like, I just don't feel like his voice is special enough, in my opinion. I think he makes cool songs, and the younger generation might get on me for this, and because I know there's a group of people that feel like he's the king of R&B, in a sense. But to me, I don't know. His voice ain't special to me. Like, he can sing, he can make some good music. He can make some cool songs, and the boy can dance. He's a performer for sure, and he makes good songs.
Chris can sing for real, but this is the problem, right? Your voice does have to have a uniqueness to it that makes you stand out. And he does not necessarily have that uniqueness that really gives you, you know, something to stand. Like Al Green, or I said Ronald Isley. It's their voices that make them special. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something different about their voices. And a lot of times your voice is enough to just make you stand out. You know, when everybody's singing at the highest level, what's different about you? You know what I'm saying? Other than
and that's why when you say Chris Brown, I'm like, Chris Brown, like I like him as an artist in totality.
But that's their voice though. I mean, like, and when I say voice, it ain't really about his tone I'm referring to as much as just he's the voice of singing for them. You know, he's the only voice that's gonna remain relevant. They remain relevant for a certain age demographic.
Drake?
Yeah, but he's a rapper. and a bunch of other things he copied. He's all kind of stuff. You can't really just put him in a box, man. He just keeps box hopping. So you gotta. I mean, I don't know. I mean, okay. What's the boy's name? Rod Wave. He's a rapper too, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
mean, well, all these rappers are singers nowadays, anyway. So like, I feel like even like with the singers, I feel like even the R&B singers right now, they're kind of drowned out in how special their talent and their voices are, because everybody is singing to a degree anyway, and everybody's using all the pitch corrections and auto tunes. So the uniqueness and the special voices they're not even there. So I guess you could say Chris Brown for this group because Chris Brown is one of the ones that can actually sing, and even though he does use some auto pitch correction stuff like that from time to time, the effects, but it's not necessary, it's not needed. But then he makes the songs that resonate. But I'm just saying,
Okay.
like the voices, ain't they're not unique these days. They're not. You said a Ryan Isley,
how about that?
Stevie Wonder, who?
Giveon.
He has a unique
voice. Giveon.
He has a unique voice, and I actually like his new album too. But I don't know if the generation feels like he's special enough though.
They don't treat him special, but he's got a unique voice. I mean, it's hard nowadays. It's hard to check all the boxes, the unique voice or the actual catalog and the love. You know what I'm saying? People ain't checking all the boxes no more. So even the people that I think are very talented vocalists, their voice ain't necessarily unique. And I'm speaking in the R&B world more so than just pop and everything else, just strictly R&B. And I also have to be aware of age groups because, you could easily be like, oh, well, I don't know who's hot now, a SZA, but she's our age. She almost 40. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
she's not their generation. But then at the same time, I can say this too, like for the kids, because Luther died when he was like in his 50s, and we were only like in our early 20s. But it still matters something to us, though. Like Luther still mattered to us. So even though SZA might be like 30 plus, she can still be a voice that resonates. But I don't think she's big enough overall. I don't know. Well, it's up to them, not me.
Yeah.
My view is going to be a lot different.
We're outsiders to the view. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering. Because from my view, from where I am, looking down into the realm of the generation now, I just don't see it. I don't know if they're gonna have that 20 years later sit back and be driving in their car and be like, dang, I'm glad we had that voice. I don't know.
You actually are carrying my mind into somewhere I was thinking about earlier this week, and I didn't intend to talk about it today, but I'm gonna throw it at you.
Okay.
I was riding and I was listening to the radio, terrestrial radio, not satellite or nothing, and they were just doing a mix. Like when you get off work, they start mixing different songs. They did like a throwback mix, but it was like throughout the 90s. And I was just riding and I had a thought that hit me and I was like, I bet this was an incredible time to be in the nightclubs during the just the 90s. And it made me reflect on it and compare it to our own era in the nightclubs. And we had a pretty good era, I would think. But it's the early 2000s. Is that got anything on that era when people were actually dancing, like the New Jack Swing era, when they go to the club and they dance into this R&B hip hop type feel? You know what I'm saying? Just those songs from that time. And then you go into what the 90s became, and even what Bad Boy contributed to that and stuff. It's just like, man, wow, the 90s was probably a hell of a time to be in the nightclub.
I'm pretty sure, even though like
80s was,
we had it good, but I still feel like 80s and 90s, I feel like they probably had it the best. Like as far as like the level of fun and carefreeness and just, I want to get together with my group and we gonna step, we gonna do our thing. We on the dance floor doing what we got to do, and it was a good mixture too of, some good R&B, some up-tempo R&B, some hip hop, and then some slow jams. They had the slow jams. That's why Kanye and them had to do that slow jams joint, because they come from that. You know what I'm saying? They're a little older than we are, so they know what it was like to have a good set. Like for our generation, I don't think this generation even have a moment. Haven't been in the club in a while to where they even play a slow jam at the end of the night. They probably just in on a hip hop joint or something crazy, right? But at least we had like a area of the evening of the night where they're gonna run about 5 slow joints together, and it's like, all right, somebody you've been eyeing all day, all night in the club.
That's your chance.
It's time to go talk to them. It's time to go make that happen. But then if you go back even further back than that, like they would have the party joint, they would party for real. And then they would have like a good lengthy part of some Heat Wave, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some Ronnie, some Bobby Brown and whatnot. They're gonna play some up tempo Bobby Brown. They're gonna slow it down with some slow joint. They're gonna play some Guy. Let's chill.
Bro.
Let's settle down. And you go talk to her. You know what I mean?
Dude, I was in the car, and look, this is my honest to God answer at the time when I was riding. I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, I never really felt no way about my era, but when I started pondering that, I thought to myself, maybe we had a weak era. Maybe our era was weak as far as the fun in the nightclub. That was my honest thought. I was like, maybe that time was weak. Like it felt good in the moment, but it could have been weak, man. I think they was jamming for real back in the day in the clubs.
No, they was. Ain't even no. Man, you can go back to the Rick James era in the club. I'm pretty sure they was getting to it. Go back to the 80s where Rick James was jamming in the club. Prince was jamming in the club. And then you take it into the 90s. And then what I think too also, like we had a little bit of a gangster rap that took over a little bit into the club. And then a lot of the Nuck If You Buck type of vibe in the club.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for all of that. You know what I mean? I wasn't there for all of that.
No, we had.
But in the 90s, like you ain't gonna get a lot of that, Nuck If You Buck type of vibe. Even though you did have some Onyx that would jam to a little bit. Things would get a little rowdy, I'm pretty sure. But the majority of it was more about the fun than anything else. You had your Kelly, you had your R. Kelly that'll go. You had your Jodeci that'll go. You had your Bell Biv the vote that would go. Like you had
all of that.
And that's why, like, think about how the clubs reacted even in the 2000s when they would play that 90s vibe. They would always have that segment in the club where the 90s joints would come on, and the Poison would play. It was always a good time, wasn't it?
Always. But get this, bro. I actually had a preview of what life was like in the nightclubs in the 90s. So about 98, 99, somewhere around there, definitely 2000, during that time frame. My skating ring in my area would have at the end of the night, they say you can take your skates off, turn them in. We're going to turn it into a dance floor. The last hour and a half, 2 hours of the skating ring. So, we 14, 15, we going to the skating ring for the nightclub night. You know what I'm saying? For the after party. We go to pretend like we want to skate, but we really was going to make
for the party
club for the teenagers. Yeah, we went to go party. So I got a glimpse into that during that time frame. And it was just like the R&B, the music that they were playing, going into the years where the 99 and the 2000s and all that stuff, man, I got to experience all of that, man. When they put the percolator on and how the people start, circling around, everybody getting the middle, like, I remember all of that, like, and the nerves of like, I've been eyeing her all night, I'm gonna try. And then this was on paper era. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember having to have
get the numbers on paper. Get numbers on paper.
Yeah, and you got to keep your paper separated in case you get more than one. You can't let us see that you already got one. You know what I'm saying? Like, so hey, this blank sheet right here for you, baby. I ain't got no numbers. I was eyeing you the whole night. Like, but it's capped, but she ain't got to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just remember this time frame, man. And it just. Yeah, no, without a doubt, that had been more fun.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like the chase was better. Probably, I feel like the moment, the build up was probably better. Like now, how we know? Well, we're not talking about now. We're talking about our era versus the 90s. But I like the fact that we still had a bridge to it, though. I still feel like we had a bridge to it, so it wasn't totally different from that time frame. You know what I mean? So we had a bridge too, because we were still close to the 90s. We were still close to the 90s.
Yeah.
By the time
2002 ain't far away at all. You know what I'm saying? It's just 2 years out.
It still had a lot of remnants of 96 on it. Still had that 96 smell on it. You know what I mean? So we went too far. We went too far off.
No, we won't. But it was definitely a little different because now, which the tough guy stuff probably always existed to a degree, but it probably exists more because now people can go and turn up the crunk music instead of go. Because before it was cool to dance. In the 90s it was cool to dance. In the 80s it was cool to dance. That's how you got the girls. Then people kind of started getting too cool to dance, which they may have always been that, but in our era it was especially that because you just kind of grind it behind her or let her grind on you. In our era, it wasn't really about having a synchronized dance off. You know what I'm saying? So it became less moves, less rhythm, more.
But you know what's crazy? That when it did get back to that, because I feel like around 2006 to 2010 maybe, it kind of got more so back to that you would see dudes get together with their boys and they're dancing with their boys and the females are dancing with their girls and stuff like that, and they're doing it's a house party vibe, but more so to Soulja Boy and them. So it's not doing the Kid and Play, it's doing the Soulja Boy, it's doing the Superman. Yeah. So it did kind of get back to that eventually. We looked at it a lot differently, only because it was a tide change from what we were used to in the early 2000s and us, how our approach and how our parties were. I did start to look at it a little different, but now looking back though, I actually appreciate that because it does have that late 80s vibe, you know what I'm saying, to early 90s. It does
right, because I was in Atlanta for all of that. So I definitely remember when Soulja Boy came out and the whole nightclub doing that. I remember Party Like a Rock Star and the whole club doing stuff. I remember jocking on them when It's Going Down came out and shoulder leaning and the whole nightclub doing it. I remember Walk It Out and everybody was walking it out. You had to know how to snap, the whole club snapping. I remember all of that now. I remember our crew, everybody doing it, everybody in it, so it was everybody participating.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate it.
We used to have to dress up in the nightclub back in the day. My homeboy said, Demo, he was like, man, Demo about to wake the devil up in them church shoes doing all that walking it out.
In the church shoes with the button up.
With the church shoes and the button up, man. That's how you had to be dressed. They wouldn't let you in otherwise, man, back in them days, man. But yeah,
had to pull pants up, had to be tucked in sometimes. It was a wild time. Just to go turn up the crunk music.
Yeah.
Just to go turn up the Lil Jon music.
Well, and that was not just that's me speaking on early Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? How Atlanta was in the 2000s at that point. But that was part of what was established as the culture of Atlanta. And to transition the conversation a little bit, music producer, hip hop producer Metro Boomin is trying to get back to those days also.
Yeah.
So for him, he's like, hey man, I miss the old days when everybody had culture. And when something came out musically, it sounded like it was something from somewhere specific. Everybody didn't sound like it. And when you heard something new, it piqued your interest. Like, what is that? And why does it sound like that? And then you were curious where they came from. And then you were like, oh, that's St. Louis. St. Louis got a sound. Oh, that's from Cali. Oh, that's from the Bay. You started figuring it out. Chicago sound like this. Oh, okay. Chicago, like Midwest, whatever.
Yeah.
And now we're at a stage where we don't have that no more. So he dropped an album or a mixtape anyway, I suppose, where he just made it like it's supposed to sound like nothing but old school Atlanta, brought the old school Atlanta artists back. And he really been pushing this movement, man. I'm going to read to you some of his tweets of what he had to say because as a young man, he's younger than us. Is
it his response of how people receive the project or just why he made the project?
Both. But it's the irony is he's saying similar stuff to what we saying in the same conversation. So I'm gonna go to the top, So he got he said that his mixtape was for us. It's not for them. First of all, he said, I did this for us, not for them. Then from here, he goes on to post stuff like this. He says, a lot of y'all get no B words and it shows. Then from there, the next tweet was, if your homeboy never had to hold you up in the party while you was getting twerked on, and then you might want to sit this one out. He said, you might want to sit this one out if your homeboy never held you up while you was getting twerked on.
You don't know about that life. Yeah, you don't know about that life.
You don't know nothing about what this project is. Don't run your mouth about it. If you never went out and competed with your boys on who would get the most numbers, then you might want to sit this one out.
This
project ain't for you. If you never had to write down a number, if you never had to write a number down, period, then you might want to sit this one out. If you started listening to rap music in 2017, you probably want to sit this one out.
This ain't for you.
If you never intentionally wore your clothes with the tag still on, you might want to sit this one out. And then he went on to say, It's time for music to get back regional. Social media got everybody trying to do the same thing. Let's get back to actual culture and regional identity.
Okay.
And on the project, he had J Money, Travis Porter, Young Dro, Gucci Mane, Roscoe Dash, Quavo, some names I don't even recognize in here. 2 Chainz, Rocco, Jose Guapo. You got Lil Baby 21, Savage, Future, Young LA, and hosted by DJ Spins. So he really made like a straight up LA project. And they say he's promoting the project because he's starting to host events where it's don't bring your phone don't bring your phone parties.
Okay. You know what? Like, I didn't know if I was gonna appreciate where this was going. Like, as far as like, okay, I see like what. But now that you explain it that way, or give me a synopsis of what he was talking about and his mindset, I love the idea of that. I love the idea of that. I don't know if he's the one to be the one to champion this, but the fact that, you know what, there should be individuals of particular genres, subgenres, or whatever, still trying to champion whatever their sound was, or the sound that they loved were. You know, like the Timberlands of the world shouldn't stop doing tempo beats. Make them beats like Timberland made. Neptunes, get back to making them Neptunes beats. Ye, get back to making them what made Ye who he was. Lil Jon, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Lil Jon's production, make what you get back to your niche market, and make that for the individuals who understand what it is that you're trying to do. Like even with Metro Boomin saying, you know what, this is what we used to do back in the day. This ain't for you. If you don't understand this, if you ain't had these experiences, this set of experiences, nah, dog. Sit this one out.
Speaking the same language. This ain't for you.
this ain't for you. Because I feel like even as somebody who's at the age that we are, we don't have the music that plays to who we are, and or what piqued our interest, or what made us feel a certain kind of way. And I feel like a lot of times we still clamor for that feeling. We still want that feeling. Case in point, yesterday when I sent you a song, you were like, if it ain't giving me this, I don't want it. You know,
I don't want it. If it don't feel like this, send it back.
Send it back. I'm not even pressing play. Thank you for the link, but no thank you, right? And I think that's what Metro Boomin is leaning to. He's like, look, we had a culture. The culture meant something. Just because everybody's trying to make this sound of what's popular or what's popping or what's gaining traction and getting likes and engagements on social media, let's stop trying to tailor to what people want to hit the like button on. Let's make the music that we know from our era. Let's get back synchronized to who we are, instead of being in sync with the world overall and trying to come up with this universal sound and universal style.
Yeah,
that's what's been happening. That is what's been happening, because like with social media being so wide, it brings the regions more so into intertwining more so than St. Louis is right here, the Bay's up here, LA's down here, Houston's right here, New Orleans
Miami
right here.
New Orleans.
Yeah. And that's necessary. That's that mixed bag that we need. And things have gone away from that to where you can't even tell what artist is from. Like, that artist from Chicago, he sound like he from Atlanta. Or that artist from New York, he sound like he from Memphis. What is this? You know what I mean?
You could tell the difference. If you heard a Tennessee act, you knew they were from Memphis. Or if they were from Nashville, you could tell the difference in Memphis and Nashville. You could tell the difference in Miami from Atlanta. You could look, Atlanta, it didn't even sound all the same. You had your Yin Yang Twins, then you had Crime Mob. They didn't sound the same. 2 Chainz don't sound like T.I. music, and T.I. don't sound like Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all, and none of them sound like Outkast. And that's right in the same city. All trap music didn't sound the same. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody didn't have Jeezy beats. You know what I'm saying? T.I. had his whole other sound to trap music. And then you ended up getting Ross with a luxury trap. You know what I'm saying? And it don't sound like none of their stuff. 2 Chainz didn't sound like none of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you think about the New Orleans sound, like even Wayne went off to sound like something different, and the New Orleans sound was lost.
I mean, and there was a difference between what Cash Money and No Limit sound like. They didn't sound the same.
Didn't sound the same in the same city. You know what I'm saying? It just in different parts of the city created a different sound. They didn't even try to imitate it. Similar, but not the same. Not the same at all.
Yeah.
Like no influence on one another. Beats by the Pound did not sound like Manny Fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was simple as that. But now we're at a stage where everything sounds the same, man. I remember even, if people get on Drake, OVO had a sound once upon a time.
Yeah, I know, for sure.
Maybe it's forgotten.
But you know another reason why things do sound the same, and this goes down to production, is because everybody's using the same kits. People aren't making their own sound.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
I feel like it is
now, because we don't have to make the same sounds with the same kits. We ain't got to put them in the same pattern.
But people aren't creative. They're not being creative. Just like if somebody could take the same sample, Ninth Wonder can sample something that Just Blaze is sample, and those will sound like two totally different things. Exactly. But as you have more producers who aren't necessarily versed or in the art of creating music, and we're just using these kits, and they're not doing much anything other than maybe like some filters or whatever to the sounds to make them much more different, and actually chopping up the sounds, we're getting similar sounds. Producers
are you talking about with like loops? Or are you talking about actually just using like sounds like
using the
piano, organ, strings?
No, I'm talking about the loops too. They're not doing enough with them. Other than what, throwing them through a filter?
I mean, I don't know, man. You know what makes me tend to disagree with you on it is just because there's only but so many chord progressions you can make anyway, and people sound different. You know what I'm saying? People play them differently. Like everybody's using the same progressions, you know. Like, but there's probably 5 songs on the radio using the same chord progression, but they don't sound alike unless you got a musically trained ear to figure out how they manage to make it sound different.
That also plays to that too. You can have 3 jazz musicians, and 3 jazz musicians can play the same song, and they'll play them a little bit differently. They'll play them differently to where they don't sound the same. It's because the exact same artisticness is being placed into the music that they're doing. Metro Boomin has a point when it comes to thinking about how things sound the same, because he's a producer, and the producers aren't necessarily producing the songs in a unique way. They're not. They're not, because they're going for a target sound of what everybody's hearing. So let me make my stuff sound like that. Okay, this is the sauce they're using. This is the kits that they're using. I'm just gonna put that into my music because that's what everybody's hitting a like on. So it's all sounding the same. That's the reason. That's how I feel.
Right. And there was a time where people wanted to try to create the new sound. You know, there was a time where people wanted to create a new sound. Everybody's always been copycats. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get that.
To a degree.
But the cream always rises to the top, where the new sound always jumps through, even if it don't make it to be like where you become the new super hot producer with the new sound. The new sound is what actually was the thing breaking new artists. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go back to Jaquan with Tipsy, like that sounded like nothing that was out. That broke the artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now he didn't make it. And the producer, we don't know who the hell they were, but it took that new sound to be like, yo, all right, what is that? Like, and everybody to be on the wave for as long as it lasted, you know. So
but then even on the same on the wave, but still unique. I still think even like back then, it was okay, they would find a wave, even when it came like the New Jack Swing, right? When New Jack Swing became a wave, there were other New Jack Swing style songs, but they would still had they weren't all doing like Teddy Riley was doing. Right.
It
was a little bit different.
Agreed.
But that's because
that's how genres get created, though, by doing it that way.
Yeah,
it's different from creating a new genre from everybody just doing the same genre, sounding the same. You know what I'm saying? Like same tempo, same instruments. We're saying the same thing, but we're saying it differently. We're saying the same thing. We're saying it differently. Yeah, man. But it's interesting because he is the generation just after us. But even they are quietly feeling that way about what's going on. But they don't want to come off like haters. And so they won't really voice their opinion full blast. But I have no doubt everybody that got on that project to join in with Metro had to probably felt the same way and were very happy to be able to do it. And I need to go support this project because I heard it didn't do so well. And it probably didn't do well because it's not using a bunch of who's popping right now names. And that's what people want to hear is that. But I'm sure if it feels anything like the 10s, it's probably a fun project, worst case scenario, but, even if it ain't the most.
Let me ask you that. Do you think that the targeted audience, do you think that they would receive it well? So I mean, like you would be somebody who is a target audience. Would you think? Would you say that? Like it still would pertain in a sense to you to a degree. To a degree, like
to a degree. Yeah.
I think you were at a piece of that era that you actually got to experience and appreciate. I'm assuming.
Yeah. I was still randomly in clubs. I wasn't in clubs on every week at that point. You know what I'm saying? I was booed up.
Yeah, it wasn't clubs. It wasn't your prime time. It wasn't your prime time.
It wasn't my prime.
Like,
It was.
Sean Paul and Give Me the Light was that was our prime time.
You know what I mean? I would say up until about 2000. Yeah. 2002, 2008 prime years. Anything post that is you got to catch me randomly and in and out. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of in and out at that point in time from 2009.
So do you think that era is willing to embrace their own era? Because that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Like when the 90s flavor came back around, it wasn't just the youth who was championing it and saying, "Ooh, I like this 90s music." We was looking back like, "Yo, yes, I'm glad y'all are catching on. I'm glad y'all see what we were talking about because yes, this 90s music is it. This was it in its time, and it's still it. And we were still able to champion it, which was able to give it the big push. But do you think that generation who he's aiming for, that targeted audience, are they going to get behind it? Are they going to champion it? Are they going to push the narrative just as he's pushing it?
When you put it that way, some will. I think some will. I think the only issues he's going to run into is that he's probably not going to be marketed enough for the actual listeners to get a hold of it like they would want. And then it would also require some artists to actually get on board with that also. Yeah. And it's going to be hard to get people on board because people want to make their money. So they probably ain't going to. It's going to take the ones who are going to get on board are the ones who ain't making money. I doubt the big artists are going to make the sacrifice.
I don't even worry about the artists getting on board, but the fans and the reception of it. Because like I'm thinking about the generation that is aimed at. That, in my opinion, is probably the unk era of the new unks who don't want to accept that they're unks now.
Yeah, early stage unks. Not the ones who got a couple years under their belt like us.
So they still trying to latch on to the music of now, that they don't want to go back into the nostalgic and say, yeah, that was my era of my heyday, and I am the new unk. They're still trying to hold on to that YN and still be that. So are they going to get behind a project like this because they're not trying to attach themselves to that unk era? That's unk era. You unk.
I think it comes down to just awareness. I think it comes down to awareness. I think if they're aware and they give it a shot, it's gonna hit them the same way it hit us. It just can't help, but that's just how it works, man. If it sounds like the way that you like music to sound, you're gonna hear and be like, "Hey, that's all right. That's catchy." You can't resist it, especially if it's names you recognize that you were fond of at the time. You're like, "Oh, I remember Travis Porter. I remember Roscoe Dash. Man, he used to have them joints. Let me go see what it's gonna pull you back in." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure those guys still sound how they used to, because most of the time people don't switch up their flow, but so much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, like for music's sake, I do hope that they get behind a project like that. I hope that they do champion something like that, because every era, in my opinion, deserves that, especially if it was something that was quality. I feel like once things become to that nostalgic value, that they deserve that. They deserve that run again of playing to at least your generation. I'm not saying you got to capture the ones before who, hey, if Stevie Wonder's your guy and OJ's and that's your flavor, you ain't supposed to be jumping in on Roscoe Dash and them. Gucci Mane ain't your era. But at the same time, if Gucci Mane was your era, if Jeezy was your era, and we're 10 years from now, you deserve that nod to go back and appreciate what was the sound of your time.
Right. I think so, man. Now I did hear that he said this wasn't a nostalgia project, unfortunately. And
Is he
it's
not
like, well,
aware?
my friend, I was like, my friend, you must not know what the word means because it is definitely
Yeah.
a nostalgic project. But
Yeah, I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, Metro. No, it's see, and that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
he's afraid to be an unk.
He's unk era. And you trying to say
He's
this is not
afraid to unk.
nostalgia? Yeah, no. This is nostalgic. What are you talking? This is
Yeah.
that's a prime example. That's
Well, he presented it as this is not nostalgia. This is reinforcing culture. Is how he kind of presented it. But it's like Atlanta's lost its culture. I'm here for it. We lost our culture. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. So this ain't. It's nostalgia, brother. You know, because what's right now is what it is right now. We're all copying everybody. Everybody's mocking one another. You can't go in public thinking you look unique when y'all all shopping from the same websites. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, you only had your mall and you dressed how whatever clothes was provided to your mall. But now we just shop online. We all look alike. And then you watching Get Ready With Me videos to look like somebody that's giving you summertime ideas.
Yeah, you can click on that link to wherever they got their stuff from and then get exactly what they got. Like you remember back in the day, I don't know if this was the same for you, but we would have friends who would go out of town, or you would go out of town. You would travel to DC, or you would travel to even say from Jacksonville to Charlotte. You go to Charlotte. I got these from the mall in Charlotte. We ain't got these in the mall in Jacksonville, North Carolina. So you rocking clothes that you can only get if you went to Charlotte. You can only get these clothes if you went to Atlanta. You can only get these clothes if you went to New York. But now everybody can get the same thing anywhere from where they're at. They can be in middle of nowhere, Mississippi, and they can rock the same thing somebody else is wearing in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas.
Look like a New Yorker to me. I remember when New York was hot and Bad Boy was on fire and they was wearing goggles on the side of their head with New York caps and stuff. I couldn't get some of that fashion they had back in the day. Yeah, I used to see it. I like, man, that was cool, but I can't do it. It won't in my area. And even think about when we went to college. Everybody had their own unique dress style when we all got together in college.
Yes, we did.
But why it was not
because when I came up from Jacksonville,
it was based off our areas.
Yeah, because when I came up from Jacksonville, you like, why are you wearing that? Why are your pants cuffed that way? I'm like, that's how we wear it in Jacksonville. What are you talking about?
That's how we wear it where I'm from. Like, but we all looking and it's all subtly different. Now, eventually, when we got to college, we all started to blend a little bit. But guess what? We're all in the same city now, and this is what's available in this city. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're doing in this city. Like, but when we came from our individual areas, we had our own individual look, you know. So, but that's gone. That's gone. The culture that's gone, man. And I don't think we'll ever get back to it. But I do wish that there was a little bit of an effort to be a little more creative on people's part.
But even though you do say that, I do feel like there are some areas that are still holding true to their to what they have, like their thing. I think when you mentioned the Bay Area, I think the Bay Area is still holding true to their style, their sound, and all that good stuff. There are a few areas that still hold true to who they are, and I think like the Bay Area, that's one.
California definitely, California in general does.
And Atlanta is losing it. They got to get it back. I feel like Houston's losing it. A lot of because and I think
Dallas had its own sound back in the day.
Remigration of individuals, because like one place gets hot, and that's where everybody wants to go. Like Atlanta at one point, that was the place for everybody to go. So people were coming from everywhere, from California, from New York, from Miami up to Atlanta. Everybody was coming to Atlanta. So they were bringing all this stuff together, and then things just kind of got mixed, and now you lose culture. Like once people start migrating to a different area and they call it, okay, this is a new hotspot. Houston's becoming that new hotspot for everybody to move to. Everybody from New York is moving to Houston. From Atlanta, moving to Houston. And it's becoming that mixed thing to where people are losing that culture.
Well, a lot of people embrace the culture when they would come to Atlanta too. You know, some people try to hold up their thing, but a lot of people would fall.
They would embrace it, but as it becomes more congested, now that's when lines get crossed and culture gets lost. They embrace it. But then once most people come, they're still going to carry a lot of their traditions. Like just like how you mentioned when we all got to college, we kind of brought our flavors together and like, all right, we still just started to dress similar. But then at the same time, now I'm losing the culture, and then are we the culture of the area that we're at? Not necessarily, because we're still bringing in whatever we have from wherever we are, and now we're just creating this whole thing. Now, once you get a congested amount of individuals, then now that's when you start watering down culture.
Yeah, and we've created some new form of culture that's not quite as strong as it originally was. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Crazy, man.
Yeah,
Crazy.
man. Yeah, man. So preserving culture is important. Preserving culture is important. Self-awareness is important. And hopefully Atlanta can get that back. And I don't know if Metro is the one to do it. And I don't know if you're going to pull it off, because I don't know if his generation is the generation that's going to be the one to back it, because you got to be aware of who you are and understand now that this is nostalgic, and this has nostalgic value. It's the only way that you're able to get behind something and champion it. If you try to put it in some kind of new thing or the wave of today, it's not going to get accepted like that. It's just not.
It's really starting that it almost feels like people are kind of putting a little bit of a stigma on the word nostalgia these days, unfortunately. It's not a bad thing.
A lot of these good words that people like to switch and make them bad, like, that's not a bad thing. Nostalgic is good. If you have something that is worth being nostalgic for, that is actually that's a badge. That's honor, because it means something. If it's not nostalgic and it's something from back in the day, that means nobody has any appreciation of it. Like, it doesn't have any value. So you want to be nostalgic at some point, because nobody's era is going to last forever. It's just not.
Right. And a lot of things that we're championing, we're all doing it together. And a lot of things that have been forgotten about, we all forgot about it. So that lets you know the things that didn't matter fell to the wayside, and the things that actually were important was important to enough people that we're all discussing it. We're all missing it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's no accident. You know what I'm saying? That we all feel the same about certain things that we miss, and then other things you just don't hear us talk about. Nobody's talking about missing rotary phones. We talking about quality music. You know what I'm saying?
If I pick up a rotary phone, I'm not gonna be like, God, nostalgia. Like, get this clunky piece of trash out of my
man.
Give myself.
Well, I'm glad I ain't gotta use this no more. You know what I'm saying? Boom, go away.
Hey, Siri, call. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Google.
Yes.
Dang, my phone done turned on.
Well, shoot, man. Let's get into the reviews, man.
All right, cool. Let me go ahead and jump it off then. I'm gonna talk about West Tampa, man. West Tampa. What I consider to be boutique, and forgive me, West Tampa, if you feel like that is a slight, but that's what I feel like West Tampa tobacco company is like. Looks like they have a growing repertoire, and it looks like their audience might be extending, which I hope it does. My experience with this cigar, which is the West Tampa Attic series, it's been a nice one. Hasn't been the greatest. So as far as like tasting notes and flavors that I got from this smoke, nice, good, strong pepper in the very beginning, which I like. They handle it very well. So a nice little peppery smoke. I liken that to the Mexican San Andreas wrapper. That probably aided to that a little bit. As I'm smoking the cigar past the first third, and I'm getting to that second third right here. I did have some trouble with the relight. I don't know if it's the fan that's blowing on me right over here that blew out my cigar, but even after the cigar went out, had a tough time getting it relit. And that is it's a negative. It's a negative when it comes to construction of the cigar. I don't like that. I don't like having to fight my cigar just to get it back going. Even if you lose that light, it should be a seamless relight and go. So that lost some points for me. The flavors wasn't necessarily a hit and wasn't necessarily a miss either. Just nothing really special that stuck out about it. Just some good, nice earthiness, tobacco. The biggest thing that I got from it was like maybe this wood chip taste. Like if you have like a barbecue and you're throwing some wood chips on the grill, not necessarily in a mesquite way, but just like a wood fire burn type of deal. So we just got a lot of woodiness and earth and tobacco. Nothing else particularly special that came out of it. I tried a retro hell, didn't get anything particular. Held the smoke in my mouth for a little bit just to see if I can get anything else to come out of it. Like I'm purposely trying to find something, and I'm not getting much from this stick. So that's going to be a couple of negative points that I'm going to take off of this cigar on top of the construction. Easy smoke after the pepper kind of dies out a little bit. The pepper was probably the highlight of the cigar, honestly. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. The pepper was good. I appreciate the pepper, but if the pepper is a highlight of a cigar, unless you're just a pepper lover, then it's not going to be it. And plus, the pepper didn't last that long. So if you're a pepper lover and you want pepper to last, and that's going to be the highlight of your smoke, then it's a miss on that. But I'm not a strong pepper guy, even though I do appreciate it. So I got to rate this cigar out of 5. And I hate to do this to West Tampa because I love Tampa. But I guess I'm going to squeeze the best out of them. So West Tampa, if you're paying attention to this, hey, I'm giving you the real deal. I'm the guy to give you to keep it real with you. We smoke these bad boys. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. We know what we like. So I'm gonna give you a 3.4 West Tampa for the Attic series. A 3.4 as far as being a smoke that doesn't turn me away from the band. I'll still look at the band and look at it like, okay, I'm gonna give something else a try. Maybe this one just wasn't the one for me. Maybe you have something better, but I'm still getting that boutique feel, but nothing special when it comes to boutique. And I don't say boutique like it's a bad thing. It just says you just haven't made it to that level of making someone clamor for a particular stick to go to a wide range audience range. So 3.4 out of 5 for the West Tampa Attic series.
Okay. Well, for me, in this Alec Bradley, Black Market, Filthy Hooligan, I'll start with this. I'll show you my burn. Now, I tried to fix this a few times, but this is just how the burn turned out. How the burn turned out. Not the prettiest burn, you know what I mean? Decent construction, would you say that? You know what I'm saying? The draw was good. Good draw on it. I would say, as far as my tasting notes on this cigar, well, before I go into that, I'll just say this is overall probably a medium to full body cigar. It's got it's pretty smooth cigar, very creamy to it. It's got some cedar notes to it. It's got some sweet notes that I attribute to licorice. As I mentioned in the very beginning, and I picked up on that before actually getting everything lit. I attribute that to something that comes off to me as a licorice type note. Could have been more of a dried fruit, maybe, I don't know, but I'd say licorice is more so what I get out of it. Along with that cedar, I get some earthy notes like you mentioned your cigar had. I got some cocoa notes on this stick. And that's something else I got that I remembered in the moment. It's slipping my mind now, but at the moment it's slipping my mind. Either way, none of this super special, Oh, a little pepper spice, a little pepper on it. That's what it was. Some of the normal stuff you hear with a cigar, done okay. Not super perfect blend, but not a bad blend either, but kind of average. Nothing really special about it. Just an okay cigar. You know what I'm saying? Not a bad cigar, but lacks some of the specialness that you want from your cigar also. But if you picked it up and smoked it, like if you were at a shop and they only let you pick out of the humidor and you grabbed it for the day while you were there, and you were drinking, you can enjoy yourself at the event. You'd have a good time. It wouldn't throw you off or nothing like that. So don't get me wrong with this, because I'm actually going to end up giving it a much better score. So I'll say slightly above average in that sense, because an average stick probably wouldn't be this good. So let me not be too harsh on it, But ultimately, for me, I'm 1 to 5. I'm probably gonna go with about a 3.5. About a 3.5 is where I'm gonna go. 3.5 was the number I was thinking. When you said 3.4, it almost made me want to bring this down a notch, because I'm like, I don't know how much, West Tampa, and it's probably about in the same ballpark. But 3.4, 3.5, that's still the same ballpark. So I stuck with my answer. You know what I'm saying? But 3.5 is what I get out of this, man. That much above average cigar.
Well, there you have it. I guess some lackluster sticks for today.
Not necessarily, because we always say this: a 3 is average. If you go over 3, you're an above average cigar. So to say lackluster is harsh, because we expect 4 and up when we get with some of these names that you know what I'm saying? So but they're supposed to have an array of cigars. So some of them are going to vary. And this is always based on preference also. It's something that anybody listening to these reviews got to always be aware of. Anytime you read a review, it's somebody's preference. So
somebody's preference. Yeah.
If I said it's above average and it's based on my preference, you might think it's even better than that.
Somebody might think it's a 4 or 5 for their palate.
Somebody might think it's a 4 or 5, and somebody might think it's a 2.5 for their palate. You know, just use me as us anyway, as a median. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the potential of this cigar is.
Yeah.
Or any cigar.
Yeah. I guess so. So hey, look, take your 3.5s, take your 3.4s. For these companies with these cigars, and understand that these are cigars that just they pass the enjoyment test. You can enjoy the stick and not be turned off by the smoke, by the experience. It's okay. It's an okay smoke. That's where we're at. So, but at the same time, hey, I like that feel of. This is a beautiful experience. That's where that's where I want to be at. That's where I want to be at. That's why I smoke these cigars, not to have an okay experience. So I'm still on West Tampa. Give me something better.
I personally would prefer, if I can at least get a 3.8, you've met my I'm satisfied standard. It's like, okay, I won't complain. So I sound disappointed in a 3.5, but that's not a bad score. You know what I'm saying? But because my lowest entry level is 3.8 for what I want every time I light a cigar. You know what I'm saying? But
there you have it. There you have it. Okay. So all right. Not too far. But yeah, man. So that's where we at.
That's where we at. And that's the end of this episode, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. Keep your sticks high. Keep enjoy your nostalgia. And keep relighting. Yeah. Keep relighting.
And we out.
Yep.